The Gods of Semen channel welcomes you. I'm Layert, and I've spent years studying spirituality and personal growth, with a particular emphasis on the seminal retention technique. I have seen regular men who lack drive and purpose find an amazing force inside themselves when they learn this technique. You don't have to end up with poor drive, low productivity, and inner emptiness. I will prioritize the greatest contributions and only respond to inquiries from people who offer a thanks over $5 in order to make sure that this content reaches as many people as possible. By sponsoring the channel, you also enable YouTube to share this content with other guys who want to change their life. Watch the entire video through to the finish, because I'll be sharing some amazing knowledge that will change the way you think about energy, purpose, and personal development. On your trip, you are going to discover the full power that seminal retention may unleash. Since I began my adventure in seminal retention, I have been struck by how more sophisticated and conscious male energy is when we propose to give up old behaviors that no longer support our development. For this reason, I have a strong connection to this issue. It has always fascinated me since we frequently make the mistake of giving superficial praise, as though we were elevating the other person without truly appreciating the importance of a sincere conversation. I vividly recall instances in which it robotically reiterated the old cliché of stating that someone has lovely eyes, but I realized almost instantly that those words did not really evoke anything genuinely profound. I started researching how words might serve as keys to the unconscious when I realized I needed to step beyond of my comfort zone, particularly in the areas of spirituality and personal growth. I realized that since words have the capacity to create or destroy, I must discipline my communication style in the same manner that I discipline my body and mind during the seminal retention process. This ability generates tension, curiosity, and most importantly, genuine interest, all of which I believe are necessary to forge a far more genuine connection at the effective, sexual, and even basic levels of idea sharing. I discovered throughout chats with friends that many people are unaware of the distinction between playing pre-made compliments and truly entering someone's emotional and mental realm. I use the term penetrating to describe a deliberate dive in which I observe the subject more subtly, as though taking note of things that are typically missed. This chapter's discussion on the rupture of generic formulas intrigues me, since it directly relates to my experience with the Gods of Semen channel on YouTube. My goal is to increase men's awareness of sexual energy, seminal retention, and how these factors affect how we interact with the outside world. When we view women as a conduit for a profound emotional and spiritual experience that demands sincere respect and adoration. In addition to being beautiful beings, there is something incredibly potent at play. By learning more about the topics covered here, I have a better understanding of how most surface-level encounters are unable to reach the layers that truly contribute to a lasting connection. The passage that states that the correct compliment can lead to self-reflection rather than merely boosting one's ego caught my attention. I agree with your assessment too much, since I learned from seminal retention that if I suppress my primal urges, I have the ability to examine my own reasons and gain a better understanding of what I truly want to experience or try. I therefore believe that when I choose to give a compliment that is more unusual than the norm, I am igniting curiosity and inspiring the other person to view himself in a new light. And I see how the same thing occurs to me, because I am more conscious of the nuances of the current moment when I express myself in this deeper way. The text's discussion of tension as a catalyst for change has a close relationship with this idea. I have always thought that we have the most room to grow. Early on in my own retention practices, I experienced a certain irritation, as though my body were beckoning me to revert to my previous routines. But it was precisely in this tension that I realized how powerful I am to focus my energies on studies, artistic endeavors, and even being a more interesting workplace for those around me. I want to imagine that, just as I reserve my sexual need for something more important, I likewise reserve the urge to say insignificant compliments, carefully crafting each phrase to evoke a particular emotional response, while also allowing the recipient to perceive things more profoundly. It is true that there is some risk involved, because not everyone is accustomed to hearing words that elicit introspection or sincere interest. But I also think that this kind of risk is what separates an effective interaction from a forgettable one. I feel confident in stating that this method enhances my relationship with ladies, as well as my relationship with myself. I see that, as I improve my language skills, I am also improving my ability to interpret my own needs and feelings. We learn to deal with the desire, transform it into psychological and emotional strength, and channel it to create something bigger. This process of observing, channeling, and directing energy is nearly the same as what we do in seminal retention. This concern is reflected in the manner we started to express our presence, and it is in this deliberate expression that the cliched remark that "you are beautiful" loses all of its meaning. I recall a conversation I had with a woman in a very informal setting when I first began to grasp this viewpoint. Rather than saying something like, "I like your style," I said something like, "The way you chose each piece shows a subtlety that reveals a lot of your personality to me." It didn't sound like a corny compliment, and I could see the mental movement of wondering what kind of subtlety I had picked up right away in her eyes. As a result, the conversation became much more interesting, and she opened up about her preferences, decisions in life, and even certain insecurities she had previously kept to herself. I thought that there was something there that needed to be noticed, so I did that rather than to impress her. And I like to sense this spirit in my own practices as well. Comparatively speaking, in seminal retention, I look at my body and say, I need to guide this energy to this less noticeable location so that it can grow. There is something in me that is not immediately apparent. In a similar vein, I've come to understand that when I utilize a deeper compliment, I give the other person a chance to express something that is frequently concealed under defensive or cautious layers. The importance of understanding that a genuine compliment elicits an inherent desire in the person receiving the compliment to investigate what is being suggested is discussed in the text. Furthermore, a manipulative game has nothing to do with this awakening. Strategies that just focus on gaining an edge without taking into account the emotional health of the other person make me uncomfortable. In my opinion, this is a two-way street. By intentionally employing my words, I develop as a man and increase my vocabulary and presence. And it is this presence that creates a distinct, nearly magnetic vibration, which is fostered by self-control and constant observation. With my new book, Alchemy of the Gods, you can explore a new level of spiritual awakening and personal transformation. The teachings of Kundalini, crystalline oil, and spiritual emancipation all join together to offer potent paths to inner progress. Every page has been thoughtfully crafted to assist you in accessing latent potential and overcoming the constraints of daily life, enhancing your vital energy and consciousness. Alchemy of the Gods, which is available in print, digital, and audiobook formats, was written to be readable by anybody who wants to reject mediocrity and lead a genuine, purposeful life. This book is the secret that can change your life and take you to a profound and freeing understanding of yourself if you feel that you lack the drive, inspiration, and clarity to handle everyday obstacles. To guarantee your book and begin this transformation journey, click the link in the description or the comment fixed right now. First of all, though, I have something new that you might not have anticipated. I provide the audiobook Semen Retention Success Path, which covers the 6 main seminal retention issues in almost 2 hours of engaging and educational content. This audiobook is the best resource for regaining your attention, releasing your vital energy, and undergoing long-lasting personal development. It transforms every obstacle into a chance for personal development. Imagine having the ability to intentionally tap into your inner strength and transform it into inspiration, clarity, and a fresh sense of purpose. Additionally, if you purchase the audiobook, you will receive a special bonus that will make this offer even more alluring. A 30% discount on the 20 pages of The Art of Semen Retention for Men, which contains sophisticated techniques that enhance spiritual evolution, promote emotional balance, and assist in discovering one's true life purpose. This is a rare chance to elevate every element of their lives and turn their energy into a potent instrument of fulfillment. Join the Gods of Semen channel as an exclusive member to take advantage of incredible privileges that are only available to members, such priority responses, early access to content, and other benefits that will significantly impact their quest for self-awareness and personal growth. Its involvement not only supports its own development, but also keeps the channel running, which enables this transforming message to reach an increasing number of men seeking inner strength and awareness. Don't miss this opportunity. Click the link in the description or the fixed comment. Purchase the items and become a part of this community that is transforming spirituality, masculinity, and the actual potential of vital energy. When considering what the chapter refers to as the slight disassessing that generates fascination, it is clear that people gravitate toward things that pique their interest. A woman will unavoidably bend to learn more about what sowed the seed if she senses anything in my remarks that goes beyond the obvious and makes her wonder about her own nature. It is about creating a favorable mental environment for both parties' development, not about manipulation. And as I continue my introspection, I'm happy to observe how this seed might sprout in unexpected ways. Since it is not limited to a seductive technique, it is most remarkable when it fits into ordinary reality. In a dance that can lead to incredible sensations, I choose to be conscious of what I express, and at the same time, attentive to what is being conveyed on the other side, because I am not releasing the energy that would otherwise cause me to become more scattered, exhausted, or nervous. Seminal retention provides me with the ideal fuel to keep me inspired to engage in more meaningful conversations. This strikes a crucial balance, in my opinion. There is a calm adoration that organically manifests as a more profound and sincere compliment, rather than a hasty attempt to win someone over or prove something. I want to know that this type of contact changes how the other person sees themselves, as well as how they view me, fostering a harmony that transcends any flimsy need for approval. This topic is becoming more and more relevant to males in the age range that follows my channel, since many of them are fed up with approaching women using pre-made formulae and failing to go anywhere. We discover the path to relationships that not only develop more honestly, but also broaden our understanding of ourselves by combining the ideas presented in this chapter with the mindset of a pioneering retention practitioner. I think it makes a lot of sense to compare a well-executed compliment to a meditation technique. When I meditate, I stay in a sense of presence and pay attention to how my thoughts are moving. I strive to have the same presence when I speak to someone, recognizing the subtleties of her face, her voice, the brilliance of her gaze, and knowing when to say the word that would awaken her soul. Beauty isn't having a fancy script. Rather, it's being flexible and constantly aware of what's occurring right now, without trying to be a character or force anything, just bringing forth what I truly feel. Deepening these reflections makes everything richer, whether it's a lengthy chat with an intense melody or a quick encounter at a party. Additionally, this chapter, in my opinion, demonstrates why the popular sentences that solely discuss physical attractiveness are unable to convey this deeper depth. I believe that if we repeat formulas, we are indicating that we are not really present and that we are not perceiving the person in front of us. We seem too indolent to investigate the genuineness of that moment. On the other hand, it seems as though we have pushed the limits of conversation beyond what is often possible when we venture to access a more nuanced level. And when you've demonstrated that you're sensitive enough to appreciate it, there's nothing more thrilling than witnessing someone gradually become attracted to you and feel comfortable expressing their true self. I view the most meaningful interpersonal connections in this way, as an introspective journey that can lead to significant discoveries rather than as an act of instant amusement. In this way, the same reasoning holds true for controlling our sexual energy, as if we discover that we can control our physical urges for something more significant, we are also learning to control our want to give meaningless praise in order to engage in a more meaningful exchange. The outcome of both disciplines is similar. We build strength for something more transformative, rather than focusing on the surface. And changing our relationships, whether they be cerebral, spiritual, or emotive, is, in my opinion, the most worthwhile experience. Just as I get real satisfaction from knowing that my sexual energy is going toward my relationships, studies, or crafts, I also get great gratification from seeing that I have made someone smile with a well-chosen remark, since I can see signs of improvement on both sides. Personally, I think that more conversations like these are desperately needed. Giving a praise that has a genuine impact is practically an effective revolution in a society when people are so distracted and hardly have time to talk to one another. This also applies to the way we treat ourselves. When we look inside, we probably won't be able to escape superficiality if we can't escape it when we see one other. When I consider these factors, I believe that the chapter offers one of the most crucial starting points for anyone who genuinely wish to advance on this path of self-awareness and groundbreaking retention. This is because it involves more than just developing our sexual will. It also entails developing our behavior and communication skills, bringing our sexual energy into line with our values and our desire for more meaningful relationships. According to a passage, deeper compliments can cause pain at first, but they quickly arouse interest. I completely agree, since I understand that some women are initially attracted or even taken aback, but that a space of intimacy and truth is soon revealed, much like a portal that opens in front of us. This process is quite similar to meditation, where we may experience resistance and restlessness during the dive, but as soon as this layer is translated, we find peace and a deeper understanding. In this way, I see how the chapter ties the use of various terms to what I refer to as eagle vision, or the capacity to see farther than other people. It involves viewing the individual as a cosmos of experiences and tales, that are worth learning about, rather than just as a body or face. The fact that this revelation is not unilateral is lovely, in my opinion, because it allows both parties to access each other's depths. And there's where bonds form that frequently develop into lifelong friendships, partnerships, or interactions that go beyond appearances. I would want to stress that all of this may be accomplished organically, without turning into a game of tactical or mental manipulation. Praising someone sincerely only seems sincere when we actually see something extraordinary in them, just as seminal retention only works when done out of inside conviction. Therefore, I maintain that consciousness is the crucial element. Feeling what you are saying is just as important as memorizing what you are saying. And because of this emotion, every syllable has a unique vitality. "You have something that intrigues me" is not a statement I made up. Rather, it reflects a genuine impression I got of that individual, a detail in their facial expression, their speech pattern, or their body posture. Do you feel as though routine loses its purpose, your vitality wanes, and a void that appears insurmountable is left behind? Although I am aware of how terrible this emotion can be, I also know that there is a way to change this reality. You can find an inner energy that can revitalize your entire being, from your mind to your spirit, and provide clarity to your everyday struggles when you choose to accept self-knowledge through seminal retention. Right now, give yourself permission to undergo this internal transformation and change the way you view the world and yourself. In order to continue this path of self-discovery and development, please like, subscribe to the channel, and view the suggested video.